Shri Gaur Nitai ki, Srila Prabhupada Patita Pavana ki, Nitai Gaur Premanande. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Srimad-Bhagavatam 6-38. Mamaham iti dehadau hitva mityarthadhirmatim dasyamano bhagavati Shuddham tat kritanadivi. Mamaham iti dehadau hitva mityarthadhirmatim dasyamano bhagavati Shuddham tat kritanadivi. Mamaham iti dehadau hitva mityarthadhirmatim dasyamano bhagavati Shuddham tat kritanadivi. Mamaham iti dehadau hitva mityarthadhirmatim dasyamano bhagavati Shuddham tat kirtanadivi. Mama, my, aham, I, iti, thus, deha adau, in the body and things related to the body. Hitva, giving up. Amitya, not false. Artha, on values. Dhihi, with my consciousness. Matim, the attitude. Dhasya, I shall engage. Manaha, my mind. Bhagavati, and the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Shuddham, pure. Tat, his name. Kirtana Adibhihi, by chanting, hearing, and so on. Translation: simply because I chanted the holy name of the Lord in the association of devotees, my heart is now becoming purified. Therefore I shall not fall victim again to the false lures of material sense gratification. Now that I have become fixed in the absolute truth, henceforward I shall not identify myself with the body. I shall give up false conceptions of I and mine and fix my mind on the lotus feet of Krishna. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. How a living entity becomes a victim of the material condition is lucidly explained in this verse. The beginning is to misidentify the body as one's self. Therefore, Bhagavad Gita begins with the spiritual instruction that one is not the body, but is within the body. The consciousness can be possible only if one chants the holy name of Krishna, the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, and always keeps oneself. This consciousness can be possible only if one chants the holy name of Krishna, the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, and always keeps oneself in the association of devotees. This is the secret of success. Therefore, we stress that one should chant the holy name of the Lord and keep oneself free from the contaminations of material world, especially the contamination of lusty desires for illicit sex, meat eating, intoxication, and gambling. With determination, one should vow to follow these principles and thus be saved from the miserable condition of material existence. The first necessity is to become freed from the body concept of life. Om Ajnana Timirandasya Gyananjana Sarakaya Chakshurunimiritam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Chaitanya Manabhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Svayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Svapadantikam Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Mamaham iti dehadau hitva mithyat adhirmatim nasyamano bhagavati shuddham tat kirtana dibhi. Simply because I chanted the holy name of the Lord in the association of devotees, my heart is now becoming purified. Therefore, I shall not fall victim again to the false lures of material sense gratification. Now that I have become fixed in the absolute truth, henceforward I shall not identify myself with the body. I shall give up false conceptions of I and mine and fix my mind on the lotus feet of Krishna. Jamila continued his vows in Krishna consciousness. First, he was a Brahmana and good devotee, but then he was fall down and became a gross materialist. And by Krishna's mercy, because he have this spiritual practice, spiritual experience, he named his name, his son Narayana, and chanted this name. Of course, not intentionally. Don't chant Narayana like we chant, like devotee chant, but still, Narayana took it as devotional service. He had this right, you know. And then he meet Vishnu Dutas, and he said that in association with this great devotees, chanting the holy name and became purified. Actually, it was in the moment, we can say. It take a moment to him to meet Vishnu Dutas and chant there, and his heart becoming purified. Of course, he was in very, we can say, unusual circumstances. Usually, when we meet devotees for the first time, we're not in circumstances like that. Relaxing, position. No problem. I take your prasad or book, something like that. We don't think that that is near to us. That is the problem. In Hitapadesha, it's very interesting Vedic book. Hitapadesha means book of good instructions. It is said that intelligent person should strive to knowledge and pious activities, just as that take his head already, that is near. And no. He should strive to do some pious activities. Of course, we can understand devotional service as that take him already. And simultaneously, he should strive for money and wisdom, knowledge, as he will live forever. It's good instructions for Grihastha, actually. He should do simultaneously. He should do some material development, and simultaneously he should strive for devotional service. So Ajamila was in these circumstances that was very near to him, and he actually can see the death, see his death. I have one experience like that in my personal life. Once it was winter time, and we moved by the car from one city to another, and как это называется, эта крышка, которая накрывает двигатель. Okay. Somehow or other, we know there was a car accident actually. I remember it because it was very interesting when car, flow because of wind. There was a wind blowing to the car, and car detached from the surface and fly, to the forest. And speed was about 110 kilometers per hour. Yeah, but when it happened, I remember that time slowed down. It wasn't like in the movie in slow motion. It was very slow. And I thinking maybe it's because thinking process became very fast in this situation. And I thinking, wow, very interesting. What should we do right now? Car, car flying to the. Yeah, there was lots of snow there. It was a Siberian winter, but still, it was very fast, and situation was very, very afraid of, you can say. And I think, what should we do? We should chant Hare Krishna. And I'm screaming, Krishna, Krishna. And there was my wife, she sit behind, in back seat, and there was a driver. And I saw their face; they was very afraid. But when I, screaming now, Krishna, Krishna, they look at me and also scream, Krishna, Krishna. And actually, nothing happened. This snow was like a pillow, and we very softly landed in the snow. Car was after all of this, after all this accident, car remained, in one piece. Actually, nothing happened with the car, and nothing happened with us also. Just interesting situation, but you can feel this very cold feeling of death. It's not indeed, it's very unpleasant, situation. So Ajamila, of course, I think it was more intense for him because he saw Yamadutas. Yeah, no doubt that is common. But then Vishnudutas came and he chanted his holy name, this holy name, and Vishnudutas told him, okay, you're free now, and they go. And here, Ajamila can see before and after, we can say. They like it. In the social media, they like to do like that. Before I was fat, and now you see me, I am very, handsome and so on. So, and Ajamila also can see it before and after. And here he gives his vow. Actually, it's very good verses for every devotee to read from time to time, to remind himself, what situation can be for him if he will not be, if he is not a devotee, if he will remain a materialistic person. And also Srila Prabhupada wrote here that it's very important, this two spiritual process, to chant Hare Krishna Maha Mantra in the association of devotee. And we can say that association with devotee is more important. Because if you don't have association, you will stop your chanting eventually, no doubt. This famous story from Prabhupada time, when one devotee came to Mayapur and lived in some field, and chant 64 rounds per day, and never came for prasadam, maybe he came for prasadam, but he never came for kirtan with devotees, and never came for lectures, for classes. He just chanting like Haridas Thakur. But when Srila Prabhupada heard about it, he told to the devotees another kind of sense gratification. And after some times, this devotee leaves gone, and Prabhupada wrote in Chaitanya Charitamrita, we never see him again. Well, because our chanting sometimes is offensive. And if we chant more than we need, our offenses is, collected. Not the benefit, but offenses. But when we chant, especially when we chant kirtan, in association with devotees, we know that there is no offenses. In the kirtan, Krishna do not take any offenses. For example, in Nectar of Devotion, it is said that you shouldn't face your back to the deities. But if you dance in a kirtan, you can do it and there is no offense. Sometimes devotee, they walk here and there during the kirtan, they dancing, and sometimes they turn their back side to the deities, but there is no offense during the kirtan. So kirtan is very important, therefore. No offenses, only ecstasy. And it's not very easy to have a kirtan without devotees. And it's very, from the opposite side, it's very easy to feel spiritual energy, very easy to feel this ecstasy when you're chanting with lots of devotees. When there is some festival, for example, we have a festival this summer in St. Petersburg. And it was very nice. Hundreds of devotees chanting together, and you get this experience. I'm in spiritual world right now. So many ecstasy, so many ecstatic feelings. You're just chanting in the kirtan, and you get automatically steadiness in spiritual life. I can say we get inspiration just by chanting. Everything become very easy in spiritual life when you are in kirtan. Therefore, it's very important. So if you don't have association with devotees, then your spiritual life will be stopped eventually, no doubt. Therefore, this is the most important thing. When devotee, go from devotee association, we can be sure, 100% sure, he will live ISKCON. He will live spiritual life eventually. And if he even doesn't follow strictly every rules and so on, but he is in association with devotees, everything will be okay with him eventually. That is the most important thing. Therefore, we should be kind to devotees. Sometimes we became like a judge for devotees. It's not proper, you shouldn't do it, and we're harsh to devotees. We are hard to devotees. And because of that, soft-hearted devotees can leave our association. Therefore, we should be very soft to devotees, inspiring them. Inspiring, not judge, but inspiring. When I was a temple president, I have one duty which I hate. Its duty was to give recommendation for initiation. I hate this duty because you should decide either he fit or not fit. And I will always think, he's a good devotee, what's the problem? Why shouldn't he, take initiation? And for so many times, some another devotees, came to me, you shouldn't give him this recommendation, he's a bad devotee. He did this, he did that. It was very painful for me. Therefore, I make some, council who decided, and this council decided, I give up this duty on them. That we should inspire devotees. We should be soft to them. We should be very. We should have this. We should have this melted heart toward devotees, and because of that, devotees will feel this inspiration to remain in our association, remain in association with devotees, and in the hard time of their life, they will remember. Yeah, devotees very unique people. They was always soft, very kind to me. I should return to them. I should go back. Because, Jamila was a devotee, but then somehow or other he became materialist, but then he became devotee again because of devotees. Because Vishnudutas was very kind to him. They saved him. So sometimes devotees around us, go in Maya, and but still we should give them prasadam. Somehow we should contact with them, and try to give Krishna to them. So they will, and because of that, this connection will remain, connection with Krishna in their hearts. Verse 39. And one interesting point here also. Hitva mithyartha dhirmatim. Hitva means giving up. Amithya means not false. and artha means values, something valuable. So, as far as we are misidentify ourselves with the bodies, we think that value or something valuable is connected to the body. For example, we try to buy the best, I don't know, cloth because body is very important. So clothes should be very rich, very opulent, and my body should, look very good and attractive to another bodies. You can see it in the middle, in the center of every city. This bodily conception of life, and in the middle of every city there is a most expensive shops. Now in Helsinki you have Stockman. I think the Stockman in the Helsinki is the most boring place in the world. I never seen, how to say, boring place. It's so boring there. When we first came to the Helsinki several years ago with my wife, and we go to the Stockman because in St. Petersburg you can hear, oh, Stockman in Helsinki, you should go there. We go there, and I was so bored there. Only some clothes, some things, and so many people, walking around and looking on these things. I also walking there, and I think, I have a thing already. I have a jacket, I have a pants. Why, why shouldn't I spend my time here? And because of that, I think Helsinki is very boring city. Now we're walking with my wife. We're walking, across the Helsinki. We came to the, uh, this walking site, when near to the beach, and all these yachts and everything like that, and well, the old city, old buildings, beautiful buildings, and I told to my wife, Helsinki is not so boring, and she told me, yeah, it's a very beautiful place here, some parks and so on. But people live like that. I am the body, therefore everything connected with the body is a artha, have a value. But this value are mithya, means false. And Ajamila said here, when you stop your identification with the body, you can see your real artha, you can see your real values, and you can see that this material thing are not valid anymore, doesn't have any value. So verse 39, iti jata sunirvedaha kshana sangena sadhushu gangadvara mupeyaya mukta sarvanu bandhana. Yeah, we should stop here on this verse. Because of a moment's association with devotees, moments, the Vishnudutas, Ajamila detached himself from the material conception of life with determination. Thus, freed from all material attraction, he immediately started for Haridwar, purported by Srila Prabhupada. The word Mukta Svarva Nubandhana indicates that after this incident, Ajamila, not caring for his wife and children, went straight to Haridwar for further advancement in his spiritual life. Our Krishna consciousness movement now has centers in Vrindavan and Navadvipa, so that those who want to live a retired life, whether they be devotees or not, can go there and with determination give up the bodily concept of life. One is welcome to live in those holy places for the rest of his life in order to achieve the highest success by the very simple method of chanting the holy name of the Lord and taking prasada. Thus, one may return home back to Godhead. We do not have a center in Haridwar. Yeah, but still there is no center at Haridwar. There is some center in Rishikesh, they say, but I think it belonged to Kirtanananda's party. I heard it.
Rishikesh now is run by Radhanath Swami,
Oh.
Chowpatty team.
Super. Oh, I should go there. We do not have center in Haridwar, but Vrindavana and Chidam Mayapur are better for devotees than any other places. The Chaitanya Chandradai temple offers one a good opportunity to associate with devotees. Let us all take advantage of this opportunity. It was great victory for Srila Prabhupada to open these centers in Vrindavan and in Mayapur. Of course, now Mayapur is like a city, a big city. So many houses are there, so many devotees living out there. But those times it just was this long building and temple, and fields around. When I first came to Mayapur in 2021, it still was like that. Oh, no, 2001. It still was like that. Couple of buildings and fields around. Now you can't see fields in Mayapur anymore, only houses. So it seems that many devotees, follow these instructions of Prabhupada, and they came to Mayapur even if they are not in this pension part of their life. Lots of young devotees came, lots of grihastas came to Mayapur. And actually, Mayapur is practically ideal place for a devotee to live. So many lectures are there, seminars, and opportunities for service. Very good place, ideal place. And I love Mayapur because ISKCON is very big there, we can say. For example, in Vrindavan, ISKCON is small. You have only Krishna Balaram Mandir and India outside, and Vrindavan is not very easy place because so many Babajis are there, and Babajis always after ISKCON devotees. They try to spoil the mind of ISKCON devotees. And I saw this so many times when devotees started to associate with Babaji in Radha Kund or in Vrindavan, and this Babaji spoiled these devotees. It's very unfortunate. But and that is the danger of Vrindavan, we can say. But Mayapur is not like that. In Mayapur, ISKCON is very big, very strong, and you can live in ISKCON in Mayapur and don't live ISKCON, and you can get everything you need. You can get food, you can get vegetables and everything like that, toothbrush, toothpaste, everything within ISKCON. They even have this rickshaw, roads in ISKCON properties because it's so big, like a taxi. In Mayapur, ISKCON became bigger and bigger. In one place, Prabhupada said that during the Kali Yuga, Mayapur became more and more prominent, and Vrindavan became more and more concealed, we can say. So it's like that. And also Haridwar and Rishikesh is also very special places. In Rishikesh, there is a boon. If you stay in Rishikesh for a few days, you will get Shanti. And it's actually working. Therefore, sometimes I take some small groups of people to India. And first we go to Rishikesh. And for many of them are not a devotee. Most of them not devotees. We came to Rishikesh first, and I give small lectures every day in the morning, Bhagavad Gita lectures, and we chant 4 rounds together, 4 rounds of Hare Krishna Mahamantra. After 2-3 days, they all have a japa beads and chanting at least 4 rounds. and they all came to the classes, Bhagavad Gita classes, and it's very interesting. You can see how they mood is changing. 2-3 days, and they became very peaceful. Very interesting. And then with this peaceful mind, we came to Vrindavan. And it was about 4 or 5 groups already I took to Vrindavan, and even for there was no instance that where when they complain about pigs, about dirties in Vrindavan, about garbage in Vrindavan. No, even one complaint, because their mind was peaceful after Rishikesh, and they saw Vrindavan in, we can say, more or less pure consciousness, and they enjoy to be in Vrindavan. They chant in Hare Krishna. They go to the Krishna Balaram Mandir. Usually, we spend first half of the day for parikrama, and second half of the day it's time off, personal time. But all of them came to Krishna Balaram Mandir for kirtan. Yeah, because consciousness is pure. Vrindavan is give his influence on their consciousness, and they are ecstatic. They look very happy. A week ago, they wasn't a devotee. Week ago, but now they are in ecstasy chanting a holy name. That's the power of Rishikesh, Haridwar, and Vrindavan, Mayapur, and so on. So therefore, it's very important to take people to these holy places. Okay, Hare Krishna. Is there any comments or questions or anything like that?
Thank you so much.
Grantaraj Srimad-Bhagavatam ki jai, Shiva Prabhupada ki jai, Gaur Premanandi, Hori Hori Bol.